years, others have had the power to cut through the strongest walls, make soldiers put down their weapons and kings talk in poetry. But somewhere in the rise of chasing foreign notes, others lost their supremacy. Now, India's indigenous perfume making industry is undergoing a transformation with a bunch of new companies reinventing the desi attar for the modern market to suit younger sensibilities. They are on a mission to ensure the slowing fading smell of attar gets a whiff of new life. We have here with us Ms. Isha Tiwari, founder of Kastur, a brand of perfume that is manufactured to suit the modern sense and sensibilities while also paying homage to Indian culture and fragrant Indian history and fragrant culture. My first question will be obviously be tell me a little about your brand.
For about like 8 months back, we coined the term modern ethers, and it came about being because we wanted to reinvent the eras of ethers for the modern generation, and we want those ethers to be not just as a memoir on as a memoir on the shelves, but as something that you kind of use every day. So how it came about being that India has a very rich culture of fragrances. We are the home to the world's oldest and the purest form of perfumery, which is zither making. I want Indian perfumery to be in everybody's bag that they're using on an everyday basis. I want to be on their vanity table that they're using on an everyday basis. So you mentioned that we have a long history and culture of perfumes, except that they are a little different from what you produces. So we have a history of making perfumes that are too pungent, too strong. So how is the process in which you make perfumes is different from the old style of making ethers? So Sukriti, the process is exactly the same. We use the traditional methods of hydrodistillation. Each ether bottle takes about a week to be distilled. It's just the notes. It's just the intensity of those perfumes, because you have to see that these ether artisans are extremely traditional. They have been not used to the world of machinery yet. They have not been even introduced to the world of machinery yet. They are in the lanes of Kannauj and Hyderabad and Lucknow, etc. All of that, and they're not well used to a globalization, or they have not like traveled much in order to know that what kind of sensibilities are going around. So we provide them the contemporary edge with these workshops, where we kind of make an ether which is still contemporary. It's not a copy of a Dior or a Chanel, because we don't want that, but which is still contemporary Indian. Maybe the oud is in itself an extremely strong resin. So maybe like the oud is extremely strong in potency in one of the variants that they make, and we kind of introduce them to a different notch of it. We notch it down a little bit. Okay, so you're saying the distillation process, it's completely traditional, it's completely Indian. So what makes it different from the Western way of making perfumes? How different is it? Or is there any Western influence as well in terms of perfume making? Western perfumes are all alcohol based. Indian perfumes, especially, Indian perfumes can also be alcohol based. That's not a problem. But the actual ethers and what modern ethers we make, we are devoid of any alcohol, because we do not want to use alcohol in our, because it was never traditionally used as well. We used sandalwood as a base, which is mostly used in a lot of ether industries. That is, we distill it in sandalwood rather than in alcohol, right? So a perfume, it evaporates and ether absorbs into your skin. So when you apply it on your wrist, when you apply it on your pulse points, it becomes a part of your body, right? And it becomes a personal fragrance. So a lot of times when I'm doing exhibitions and pop-ups, I apply the same modern ether, the same Kastur on, for example, on you and your friend. It will smell a tad different on you and tad different on her. Same note, but it will smell a little different, because it has taken your temperature, it has taken your body temperature, it has taken your personal odor also a little bit, and it has made a very special personal scent for you in the same spectrum. So do you cater to only Indian consumers, or do you have any sort of buyers outside of India? So we started by shipping within India, and in a month we started shipping globally. We get a lot of orders from UK, from London. We get a lot of orders from Dubai. We get a lot of orders from Spain. And a lot of people who are there, Indians who are also there, they kind of buy it as gifts to their friends because they would want to show off their culture and they would want to, speak about their culture with pride.
But in global markets, do you see there's a competition where people generally would prefer the brands that they have known? And as you said, that India is not really known a lot for its perfumes. So, what sort of competition is there, or what are the challenges that you have faced?
So see, there will always be competition, okay, and there will always be new brands coming up. From the time that I've started, I did an R&D for about 1.5 years, and about 7-8 months back, we started in full form. There are a lot of other brands that are coming up as well, and I couldn't have been more thrilled about the fact.
Kastoor's way of adding the contemporary edge to others by toning down the aroma is also followed by Boond fragrances, another new entrant in the attar market. The company's co-founder Varun Tandon echoed Tiwari's belief that India's ancient perfume industry needed to be reinvented.
So we started Boond just to kind of play our bit in like helping the Kannauj attar industry and taking it to people. And what was also the thought behind it is that like a lot of young people mostly don't even know about attar, or they'll never use it, or they already have a lot of preconceived notions about it. Scientific, it's like when you're putting the fragrance together, in what portions is the base oil, in what portion is the roux, how much flour you put, the quality of base oil, everything. It's also totally organic. It's also totally organic and chemical free.
It's not just driving down the intensity of the scents that these brands have modernized others. They have packaged them in a way that gives them a new avatar. Their strategy is not to remind the customers of the pungency of desi yellow bottled others, but the sophistication of their newly born identity.
So it's totally different. Like what we are doing, one is we are including this handwritten poem with each perfume. Then it goes in this handmade paper box, which is kind of recycled from cotton scraps. So if you see our Instagram page, there's like 1 or 2, 3 videos where we've shown the process. So it's like a handmade paper box, which is recycled from cotton waste.
It has been difficult for perfume makers of Hyderabad and Kannauj to compete with the high-end colognes and inexpensive deodorants from the West following the 1991 economic reforms. But brands like Kastoor, Boond and Sugandhko are bringing back the spotlight on India's perfume market and collectively bringing the heritage scents to the vanity tables around the world. This is Sukriti Vas for ThePrint.